Marlene the Plant Lady back and answering some questions here. Got some good ones. Ready?
Yep.
All right. This one is, I saw this plant at a neighbor's yard. What is this? What is
Okay,
this?
yeah, that is quite impressive. I could see how people would stop by and be like, what the heck is that? It is called, common name is called desert spoon. I can never pronounce the botanical name. It's Dracylerion. Call it desert spoon. It's a very drought tolerant plant, and that is its flower spike. So you could see how tall it gets. It could take years and years for it to flower. The nice thing about this is, unlike the agaves, the century plant, the mother plant does not die after it flowers. So you're going to have this plant for years and years. So low water, good drainage, full sun, no fuss plant.
All right. Next one here is, maple died, and there's new growth though coming from the bottom.
Yeah, it is dead. But remember, always scrape the bark when in doubt, because you know sometimes the leaves could die and you don't want to throw it away. So always scrape the bark. And if it's brown and brittle, then it's dead. What's happening here is the root stock. Most likely this plant was grafted onto a different root stock. That's not always the case. You could still have the roots coming up and sprouting up. Now the problem with this is, to get it to that single trunked tree is going to be very difficult. And if it was a different cultivar than the rootstock, it won't be the same plant at all. So it's up to you if you want to take the time to try to prune it to get it to a single trunked tree, risk it being different than what you got. But yeah, the top part is most likely dead. So you could just cut it at the base and let the bottom take over. But move it in the fall into a bigger pot.
So I don't stress those. Roots!
I've got no roots on my home.
Come on, Christine. Go dance.
Okay.
The boot and all.
The boot really is good for shoveling. I did shoveling yesterday and it really gets the shovel down.
So
You just mess
the
around.
song should be called Boots.
Yes.
Okay.
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 All right.
Off to the next.
Next one
Next.
here. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. We've got about a minute left. This one has the lady has two different lavenders, Spanish lavender and a mint julep. What's going on?
Okay, so the problem here is they're still in their nursery pots, and generally nurseries will use a very heavy peat soil that holds a lot of moisture, and lavenders are drought tolerant and they need excellent drainage. So if you get a plant, any nursery plant, idea is to put it in the ground in a pot as soon as you can. I know that's not always possible, but lavenders especially so, because when they get too wet, they're very susceptible to a lot of pathogens, Phytophthora in one. That's why if you even have one in the ground, half of it will die one day and then the other half dies the other. So that is what's going on here. If you had got, and I'm not blaming you at all because I've done this many times and not planted things, but if you got them and put them in the ground, chances are they probably would have been better off unless it was poor draining. So not saying the top one's dead yet, but generally once you see this death, it's hard to get lavenders back.
Okay.
Yes.
Marlene the Plant Lady on Instagram, Facebook, Flower Power Garden Hour if you'd like to listen to her on the podcast there. And again, topic
to me.
Succulent care in the 10 o'clock hour, but more questions to come. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you.